The application of the Garden of Poetry. It represents the pioneering comprehensive service platform in the Middle East, providing value-added services through inclusive and groundbreaking poetic content. This content is exclusively crafted by a distinguished group of poets affiliated with the Poets Foundation, an esteemed institution serving as a conduit to global culture and creativity. The application embodies a poetic haven, delivering all services anticipated or sought by the client, in accordance with the high standards set by Green Line Technology, leveraging its profound expertise in the field to fulfill the genuine needs of its clientele. This account is established using the client's phone number and personal information. During the login procedure, a verification code is transmitted to the client via SMS. Registration is completed upon the entry of the received verification code. Upon successful login, the primary interface is displayed, presenting the client's details, the available balance of points in their wallet, and the number of poems they have acquired. Moreover, the application is structured into 6 distinct sections. The first section, as illustrated here, is the Garden of Poetry. Upon entering this section, one is presented with a curated assortment of 15 distinct packages, each encompassing a broad spectrum of themes. These include religious, social, and recreational poetry, alongside compositions focused on family congratulations, departures, and various celebratory occasions. Furthermore, the collection consists of sorrowful verses, poetic invocations, and an array of seasonal pieces. Enter the congratulations package. In this context, each package holds a diverse range of categories. For instance, when seeking a congratulatory message for a girls' engagement, enter girls' engagement. Upon selecting the category, an example of a congratulatory poem for this occasion is displayed. This selection is provided at no cost and may be shared by the user with a simple click of the share button. Furthermore, the user has the ability to customize the text and background colors, thus allowing them to share the congratulatory message as an image. This process is consistently applied to all free sections across the various categories. The process of purchasing and applying discounts within the application is as follows. The user commences the transactions by navigating to the package section to select a particular offering. Upon selecting the desired package, the payment method is specified, with the transaction processed via the mobile carrier. A confirmation message is then sent detailing the cost of the package and the number of points that will be credited to the user's balance. The user must authorize the transaction, after which a notification is displayed, confirming the successful completion of the payment. After that, a confirmation message from the telecommunications provider is received, indicating the deduction of the specified amount. By clicking the Update button in the Account Details section, the total number of points credited to the user's balance is displayed. As illustrated, 1 point has been duly added to the balance. The user is now authorized to proceed with making a purchase within the application. Let us revisit the congratulations category, specifically within the girls' engagement section. Upon selecting the Buy More button, a confirmation prompt will appear, requesting the user's consent to proceed with the purchase. The user must approve the transaction, after which the purchase selection will be displayed on the same screen in the specified format. This procedure is consistently followed across all sections of the application for completing a purchase. Display operations within the Poetry Nursery section. This section provides a range of display techniques including the package presentation method, the category presentation method, the selection presentation method. Return to the main screen. Section 2. This section presents a unique poetic verse for each letter of your name. Upon selection, a specialized screen will be displayed, showcasing an example of the service as follows. In this section, users are invited to input their first name and click the Submit button. A verse corresponding to the entered name will then be presented in line with the provided example. Return to the main screen. Section 3. This section presents a poetic verse inspired by your name. Upon selection, a dedicated screen will be displayed, illustrating an example of the service as follows. In this section, users are prompted to enter their first name and click the Submit button. A verse corresponding to the entered name in alignment with the provided example. Section 4. The Poetry on Demand section provides clients with the opportunity to request bespoke poems on any subject of their preference. In this section, the client submits the request by entering the relevant details and selecting the Submit button, after which the request is archived in the client's order history. The request is then received by the management team of the Special Requests Department and forwarded to the poet's queue for review. Continuous communication between the order management team and the poets are made until the administration approves a suitable response. Once the response is approved, it is made accessible to the client in their order history. Section 5. The Poetry Request for Artistic Production section offers artists, vocalists, and creators of traditional poetry and wedding anthems opportunity to commission a poem for inclusion in any artistic endeavor defined by the client. In this section, the client submits their request by providing the requisite details and clicking the Submit button, after which the request is securely stored in the Artistic Production Request Archive. The request will be received by the management team of the Artistic Production Request Department. A note is provided within this section underscoring the necessity for the client to engage with the management team via the WhatsApp icon, which will be promptly displayed beneath the submission request in the Artistic Production Request Archive. The management team will await the client's communication through WhatsApp to finalize the request and negotiate the terms of rights allocated, thereby granting the client permission to utilize the poem for artistic purposes. Once an agreement is established with the client, the request will be forwarded to the poet's queue for a response. Internal communication remains ongoing between the management of the artistic production request and the poets until the administration approves an appropriate response. Upon approval, the request will be made accessible to the client in the request archive, accompanied by a legally binding rights transfer certificate, duly authenticated by both the administration and the poet, as well as the relevant authorities. Section 6. The Poetry Request with the Artistic Production section offers the clients with the opportunity to commission a comprehensive artistic creation, encompassing both the poem and its artistic production, to be delivered as a finished polished work. In this section, the client submits the request by providing the necessary details and selecting the Submit button. The request is then securely archived within the Artistic Production Request database. Following submission, the request is received by the management team of the Artistic Production Request Department. A note is provided within this section underscoring the necessity for the client to establish contact with the artistic work management via the WhatsApp icon, which will be promptly displayed beneath the submission request in the Artistic Work Request Archive. The management will await the client's communication through WhatsApp to finalize the request and negotiate the terms of the rights transfer, thereby authorizing the client to utilize the delivered artistic work. Once an agreement is reached with the client, the request will be forwarded to the poet's queue for a response. Communication persists internally among the artistic work management, the poets, and the client until the client's formal approval for the poem is obtained. After that, the response is displayed in the client's Artistic Production Request Archive, accompanied by the rights transfer certificate, duly authenticated by both the management and the poet, as well as other relevant stakeholders. Once the poem is finalized and the client's approval is secured, the artistic work is meticulously prepared and delivered to the client, along with a certificate of relinquishment for performance and melody rights in favor of the client, duly certified by the management and performer and relevant authorities. Setting screen. The setting screen encompasses a comprehensive set of configurations that empower the user to perform the following actions: log out icon, language selection icon, mode adjustment icon, password modification icon, instruction icon, containing detailed guidelines for navigating the application. Additionally, there is a dedicated icon for submitting suggestions and complaints, allowing the user to present proposals for management consideration, as well as a place to file grievances regarding the application's functionality, all of which will be addressed with the utmost attention and care. What's next? This application demonstrates considerable promise, with its present features being only a glimpse of what is to come in the initial iteration. In the coming versions, we plan to incorporate auto poetry via IVR, reaching our full potential.